He is the operating partner of Keller Williams Preferred Properties in Prince George County, Maryland. Emerick has been dropping it like it's hot. He has been now. This is part 6, folks. And if you have not watched the other episodes or segments, please go back and watch them. I promise you, you will learn something and you will be inspired. Every time I'm sitting with Emerick, I'm learning something and I'm being challenged. And we left the last segment with the question, will you hire yourself as a real estate agent? And if their answer is no, what now? I mean, this is a very important question to consider, because in asking yourself that, you're really saying, are you doing what you should be doing to grow your business, to be successful, to make money, to take care of your family? Are you your own Mr. Charlie? Emerick, I think that's a great question to ask.
It is, but and the truth is, it's hard to get people to answer that question truthfully, right? And if you had to really break it down and had to analyze what you do and the way that you do business and the way that your business is structured, and if somebody had to pull the curtain back to look at your business to say, yes, based on your system, tools, and models, I would love to hire you as a professional to represent me, would you say that? And the answer for most people is no. Wow. No, you cannot be Mr. Charlie.
Wow, that's hard. That's hard to take. And if you're keeping it real with yourself, do you have the systems? Do you have the discipline? Are you doing what you should be doing? I mean, I know that as a manager in lending, I always have to ask myself, am I doing what I should be doing right now? If what I'm doing right now, represent the highest and best use of my time? Is it
absolutely
is what I'm doing right now revenue generating, or is it or am I losing money because I'm working on something that has zero impact on moving my business forward? And being able to identify what are true priorities that are revenue generating versus that are not is a challenge for a lot of people. And we have a tendency to want to focus on things that don't challenge us as much. It would be administrative and operational, and not on the things that really challenge us, like having conversations with prospects, with actual potential clients, having real conversations with them, and being ready, bracing ourselves to accept the potential rejection that comes from it. And here, for you to say that you only need 2 hours of that today, is that enough?
At least 2 hours. And it is enough, Eric. I want you to wrap your brain around this. And just remember, people are like water, air, and electricity. They take the path of least resistance. Whatever's easiest, that's what we do as people. And so you wrap your brain around it, 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day means that for 10 hours a week, you have called people, right? So for 10 hours a week, you've called people to pursue business, to take a proactive role in your business, right? So that's 10 hours a week. What's that? That's 40 hours a month.
That's right.
That's 40 hours a month. Do the math.
Times 12, 480 hours a year.
Right.
Wow.
And it's really not much. It's really not much. However, what happens is the accumulative effect of your activities. What it's called, Eric, is really called consistency compounded. Consistency compounded will cause an exponential growth in your business. You're writing that down now, aren't you?
I am writing it down.
Like that,
you keep dropping these gems, and folks, for those of you who are watching, they're in the lower thirds here of the video. First you got me with replenish, replace, renew, and then you say we take the path of least resistance, like air, water, and electricity, which is so true. And now you're breaking out consistency. What now? Consistency leads to.
I said consistency compounded will equal exponential growth.
Consistency compounded will equal exponential growth. And that is so true, because that's how compound interest works, right? I mean, that's how money works. That's how money grows. And
Money
I
and
would say
time are
that
the same thing, Eric. What's the
mm,
difference in money and time?
there is no difference. Money is time. Wow.
We always want
So
more money and we always want more time. So
yes,
what would happen
yes.
if we were better stewards of the time that we had, we'd have more money. And if we were better stewards of the money that we had, guess what? We'd have more time.
I love that. It is so true. It is so true. And so, man, we gotta, in every segment we've done so far, Emerick,
Okay?
it always boils down to me, to you, to us. We really can't blame the market. We can't blame other people. We can't blame the company we work for, the manager we have, or our spouses, or the lack of this and that. I mean, people always talking about their inability to do something because of somebody or something else. When in reality, it's just us.
It's only us. And the challenge is that so many times we're competing against other people and other events and other activities when we're truly only competing against ourselves.
That is the truth.
Because here's
There
what
is
happens.
no.
Hey, here's what happens, Eric.
Mhm.
No matter what someone else is doing, no matter where someone else is going, until you can properly manage yourself and your activities within your day, none of that matters. So you're only competing against yourself to manage your activities in any given time frame to maximize the opportunities of what life presents you. That's it.
Man, it can't be that simple, Emerick. I mean,
No, it is. Let me tell you, people always say, well, I got to have better time management skills. First off, you can't manage time. 60 seconds is 60 seconds. I don't care what you do. 60 seconds is 60 seconds, 60 minutes is 60 minutes. All that you can ever do is manage yourself and your opportunities, the way that you use that 60 seconds
mm, mm, mm.
and the opportunities that you create within that 60 seconds. That's the difference maker.
That's a difference maker. Wow. I love that. Man, everything you're saying is just resonating with me. And I hope it's resonating with those who are listening to the podcast or watching this on television. I mean, honestly, we all have the same 60 seconds. We all have the same minute, the same hour, the same day. I mean, no one has any, special privileges as it relates to time. And so we have no choice but to find a way to better utilize time, be better in control of what we do and when we do it. When I think about that from a marketing standpoint, and this 2 hour window, and really 2 hours does add up, in a week, right? 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 hours of straight up focus communication of some type. And so what is that? What do you recommend to be, say, the most effective use of that time?
The most effective use, Eric, is typically phone calls, because I can dial 40 numbers an hour. I cannot go out and walk down any street, hallway, or nothing and talk to 40 people an hour, because I got to find them first. I have to get it. And it really is called leverage. The telephone is leverage. The telephone and a dollar system are leverage. When I say a dollar system, I mean a multiple dollar, whether it be Mojo or Cold Realty Resources, some type of automated dollar to help you get through your list, and it just creates leverage. And so that's why I say phone calls. Let me see what email. I can email 1,000 people at one time. Well, that's a passive approach, because if you email 1,000 people and none of them have their emails open, it's a waste of time. And you don't even know it. That's the unfortunate part about it. And some people say, well, what's the difference in phone calls? Because when you pick up the phone, at least you know that the person did or did not answer the call. Now, here's the other part about that. Phone calls are so much more personal. Phone calls create an emotional sticky. And I believe that's the part that people miss about this business, is the emotional sticky that a phone call creates. And I know the younger folks would say, well, I can just text them. I can connect with them on the gram.
Right.
There's no emotional connection there.
Now you're not saying that you shouldn't utilize email to reach out.
Absolutely not. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the most effective way, because in that phone call, logic makes you think, emotions make you act. And so when you're acting in that emotion, it's kind of difficult to get a text or an email to evoke emotion unless it's an inflammatory email or text message. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Logic makes you think, emotions make you act.
Right. And so in that phone call, just by me saying hello and you hear my voice, when I say, hey, Eric, how are you today? That's an emotional connection right there. It's an emotional connection, but nothing else. I said your name. What most people don't understand is the sweetest sound for any human to hear is their name.
Wow. Yeah, people want to hear their name.
Your name.
People want to know that you're interested in them.
Hello,
How
Eric.
they're doing.
You ready? Hey, Eric, how are you today? This is Emerick. I just wanted to call you and talk to you for about 5 minutes. Do you have 5 minutes to talk to me, Eric?
Sure, Emerick. Absolutely. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And you see that within that 10-second greeting, I said your name twice.
Right.
I said good morning. I asked you a question. Do you have time to talk to me for a specific amount of 5 minutes? Would that be okay, Eric? You see that now? I got you, because I said your name twice, and it's clear the sweetest name that anybody can ever hear is their name. The sweetest sound is your name.
Yeah, that is great.
The name will stroke an ego. Let's be clear. When somebody doesn't know your name, you don't give a damn about them. If they say, hey, mister, how are you today? Like, huh?
Right.
I can't say, hey, Eric, how are you today? Oh, you know my name. Oh my gracious.
And you go from there to further build rapport, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
this is part of that renewing part, right? Especially if someone knows you and they're surprised to hear from you, or you're following up with them. You're at the same time building rapport, establishing rapport.
Yes. Yes.
It reminds me too of that adage that people do business with whom they know, like, and trust. And how better way to get someone to like you than to show real interest in them? Because
you know my name.
You know my name.
How many times do you hang up on a telemarketer just because they don't say your name? Hey, may I speak? Hello, may I speak to the homeowner, please? Click.
Right?
And that's real.
The Power Is Now magazines are the leading resource for real estate agents, mortgage bankers, entrepreneurs, and small home ownership businesses, providing leaders with business strategy information, resources, and tools through PIN, Real Estate, Programming Guide magazines. Stay up to the minute with real estate news and information from industry experts. Subscription is free. Sign up today. ThePowerisNow.com. ThePowerisNow.com.